Chapter 1. When Your World is Shattered. I was with him nearly 30 years. 4 of those as a college girlfriend, 25 and a half as a wife. On the outside, it looked like we had the perfect life. Beautiful home, nice cars, awesome kids, active in sports and excelling in academics, gorgeous family photos, great friends, fun vacations, special holiday gatherings. But photos and social media feeds can be deceiving. You never know the pain behind someone's smile until you do. One day, all the turmoil, secrets, and lies that had been causing problems in our marriage erupted like a volcano spewing lava that had been boiling under the surface for decades. Everything was finally out in the open. Proof was in hand. No excuses would suffice. Trust had been broken. Vows had been discarded. Arguments ensued. Tears flowed. Our marriage was instantly broken beyond repair. My face flushed and my heart disintegrated as my sobbing body collapsed to the floor under the weight of the wrecking ball that had just hit my life. Within a matter of moments, my world was shattered, never to be the same again. Nor would I be. That horrible, painful, and unforgettable day marked the first day of a journey I never wanted to embark on. A journey that may look a lot like the one you are now walking. On that day and many days to follow, I needed someone, anyone, to understand what I was going through. I am fortunate and blessed to have so many friends and family members who have been there to support and encourage me from the moment my husband walked away to the present day. But although everyone empathized, and many shed tears for my children and me, few could truly relate to the loss I was feeling and my sorrow over the death of my marriage. And that's exactly what divorce is, a death. The death of a relationship, the death of an intact family, the death of the life you knew, the death of certain friendships, the death of relationships with beloved in-laws, the death of security, the death of dreams, the death of a future. Divorce evokes intense mourning over the loss of someone who didn't die, but is still living life without you. And maybe he seems to be happy, living a great life without a care in the world, maybe even living his best life without you, and maybe even with someone new. Yet, it is the type of death people don't share as much sympathy for because there's no funeral to lament the loss. There are no big gatherings of friends and family where everyone brings a casserole or sends flowers, no sympathetic Hallmark cards in the mail, no lengthy post on Facebook about how much that person will be missed, no closure. Divorce is the type of death that can make you feel more isolated than being on a deserted island. It is a death that is haunting and devastating and penetrates our hearts to the core. The journey to accepting and recovering from the actual death of a loved one is excruciatingly long and difficult, and the journey to accepting and recovering from separation and divorce is just as difficult and painful. In fact, to lose someone you love because of death is hard enough, but losing someone you love because that person chose to leave you behind is even more heart-wrenching. Even if you played a role in the end of your marriage, or the divorce was not necessarily your spouse's fault but yours, the end of a marriage can still feel like a death. Change is hard no matter what the circumstances. Not everyone realizes this or thinks this way, but I do. And my heart breaks knowing that you likely do too. The old cliche that tells us not to judge someone until we've walked a mile in that person's shoes is so true. We can never fully comprehend someone's plight until we are in the same plight. So I understand that not everyone could understand. I had never fully understood this level of devastation until I experienced it firsthand. But I now know what it's like to mourn the living. I know what it's like to be abandoned and wonder if life could ever feel good again, if I could ever feel good about myself again, if I would ever believe I'm enough, if anyone else would ever want me, if I would ever want anyone else, if I could ever trust someone enough to open my heart to love again, if I would even survive. These are all valid feelings and questions everyone deals with when facing divorce, regardless of how many years that marriage existed or what circumstances destroyed it.